The Devourer had carved a path of destruction across 17 star systems. Standing 12 feet tall on 6 razor-sharp legs, its obsidian carapace gleamed with an oily iridescence that seemed to absorb light itself. Rows of crystalline teeth lined its maw, each one capable of shearing through reinforced titanium. Its 4 eyes burned with an intelligence that was both ancient and utterly alien, while acidic saliva dripped from its mandibles, eating through, deck plating wherever it fell. Captain Zexhai of the Galactic Defense Fleet had seen the aftermath on Kepler 442b. Entire colonies reduced to smoking craters. Military installations torn apart like paper. The creature seemed impervious to every weapon they threw at it. Plasma cannons, quantum disruptors, even tactical nuclear strikes. Nothing stopped its relentless advance. "It's heading for the Terran colony on New Eden," Zexhai reported grimly to the Emergency Council. "Population 12 million humans. We estimate they have perhaps 6 hours before planetfall." The assembled representatives from a dozen species shifted nervously. The Vorthak delegation's tentacles writhed in agitation. The crystalline Zephyrite chimed discordantly. Everyone knew what this meant. Another world would fall. "We must evacuate immediately," declared Ambassador Thys, her scaled features tight with worry. "The humans may be unusual, but they deserve the same protection protocols as any member species." On New Eden's surface, the evacuation sirens wailed across New Geneva, the planet's capital. Families streamed toward the spaceports, children clutching hastily packed belongings. The Planetary Defense Force, woefully outgunned, prepared for what they knew would be a futile last stand. Dr. Sarah Chen, however, wasn't running. The xenobiologist stood in her laboratory, surrounded by holographic displays showing every scrap of data they'd gathered about the Devourer. She'd been studying the creature's behavioral patterns for weeks, ever since the first reports came in from the Outer Rim. "Fascinating," she murmured, zooming in on footage from Rigel 7. The creature had paused its rampage to examine some local flora, almost delicately manipulating the alien plants with surprising gentleness before moving on. "You're not just mindlessly destructive, are you?" Her assistant, Marcus, burst through the door. "Dr. Chen, we need to evacuate now. The transport leaves in 10 minutes. Sarah waved him off, still absorbed in her analysis. "Look at this, Marcus. Watch how it moves. The way it tilts its head when encountering something new. The pause before it attacks fortified positions. It's calculating, learning. It's a monster that's killed billions." "No," Sarah said softly, a smile spreading across her face. "It's scared." 3 hours later, the Devourer's ship, a writhing organic vessel that looked more grown than built, settled onto New Eden's surface with a sound like thunder. The creature emerged, its massive form casting a shadow across the abandoned landing pad. It took 2 steps before freezing completely. A lone figure sat cross-legged on the tarmac about 50 meters away. Dr. Chen had changed from her lab coat into casual clothes and brought a picnic basket. "Hello there, sweetie," she called out cheerfully as if greeting a neighbor's dog. "You must be tired after such a long journey. Are you hungry?" The Devourer's 4 eyes focused on her with laser intensity. Its mandibles clicked rapidly, a sound that had preceded the death of countless beings across the galaxy. It took another step forward. Sarah tilted her head, studying the creature's posture. "Oh my goodness, look at those eyes. You're absolutely gorgeous, aren't you? Such beautiful patterns on your shell." The clicking stopped. "I bet nobody's ever told you that before, have they?" Sarah continued conversationally, unpacking her basket. "Everyone just screams and shoots at you. That must be terribly lonely." The Devourer lowered its head, those burning eyes now level with the tiny human. A low rumble emerged from its throat, not the hunting cry that had terrified entire fleets, but something else entirely. "Are you trying to talk to me?" Sarah's eyes lit up with delight. "Oh, you clever thing. Here, I brought some Terran fruits. I wasn't sure what you might like, but these are sweet." She held out an apple. The creature's massive head moved closer. close enough that its breath stirred her hair. Its acidic saliva had stopped flowing. With surprising delicacy, it extended what might have been a tongue, a tendril of muscle that gently took the fruit from her palm. "There's a good baby," Sarah cooed, the same tone she might use with a beloved pet. "You know, I think you're just lost, aren't you? Looking for something?" The devourer made that rumbling sound again, and Sarah could swear she heard loneliness in it. She reached out slowly and placed her hand on what she thought might be the creature's snout. The obsidian surface was warm and surprisingly smooth. "I know, sweetheart. Space is big and scary. You've been traveling for so long, haven't you? Hundreds of years? Maybe thousands?" The creature's eyes closed as she stroked its carapace. In orbit, Captain HFY watched in stunned silence as his ship's sensors picked up the impossible scene below. "Are the readings accurate?" he asked his tactical officer. "Yes, sir. The creature's biosignatures show. It appears to be purring." 2 days later, the Galactic Council convened an emergency session. Dr. Chen sat at the center of the amphitheater, looking remarkably composed for someone who had single-handedly prevented galactic catastrophe. "You're telling us, Ambassador I said carefully, that this creature, this unstoppable force of destruction, is simply lonely." "Not simply lonely," Sarah corrected. "It's an apex predator from a species that went extinct millions of years ago. Imagine being the last elephant on Earth, but the size of a building with the intelligence of a dolphin and the lifespan of a redwood tree. It's been wandering the galaxy for eons, and every time it encountered other species, they attacked it on sight." She gestured to a holographic display showing the devourer, now designated as Keeper per Sarah's suggestion, gently tending to a grove of New Eden's native trees. Keeper doesn't destroy worlds because it's evil. It destroys them because it's trying to communicate. And when beings attack it, it defends itself. Its biology is based on pheromone communication, but its chemical signals terrify most oxygen-breathing species. To Keeper, it was saying, "Hello," but everyone else interpreted it as a threat. "And now?" Captain HFY asked. Sarah smiled. "Now it has someone who thinks it's adorable. Keeper has decided to stay on New Eden as our planetary guardian. We're teaching it to communicate using harmless chemical markers, and it's teaching our botanists about extinct ecosystems from across the galaxy." She paused, looking around the chamber at the assembled representatives of hundreds of worlds. Sometimes the most powerful force in the universe isn't a weapon or a technology. Sometimes it's just someone willing to say, "You're not a monster, you're just misunderstood and mean it." In the months that followed, New Eden became known throughout the galaxy as the world where humanity befriended the unstoppable. Keeper became something of a celebrity, gentle enough to let children climb on its back while powerful enough to redirect asteroids with its bare claws. And Dr. Sarah Chen? She started an interspecies communication program that revolutionized first contact protocols across the galaxy, all because she looked at the most feared creature in known space and said, "Aw, what a cutie."